Ladies and gentlemen, I need hardly say how enormously touched I was to have been asked to join you today. And it is with deep regret that I cannot be with you in person at this World Economic Forum Sustainable Development Impact Summit. I pray, therefore, that you will forgive my absence and the fact that I am appearing as a rather disembodied video message. We now, at last, have a hugely important opportunity to reimagine our world through the lens of sustainable markets and to put people and planet at the heart of global value creation. For we are in the midst of an existential crisis that should now be well understood. Accelerating and catastrophic climate change and the devastating loss of biodiversity is the greatest threat humanity has ever faced. The destructive and costly nature of short-term political and corporate agendas is something I have observed with mounting despair over many decades. Our collective failure to make sustainable choices has put the future of life on Earth in peril. Small steps, therefore, are no longer sufficient. As one people sharing one planet and one future, we must now pause and reflect on our trajectory. Behind us are some 50 years of unprecedented progress, largely as a result of the conventional, but now increasingly unsustainable market system we have come to know. But unless we act now, the price for progress will prove much too high. Looking forward, we must think of the future we wish to build. As the world finally begins to awaken to the sustainability movement, calls are increasing for a new kind of market, a sustainable market, one that is inclusive, equitable, green, and profitable, and where sustainable principles drive growth. Sustainable markets generate long-term value through the balance of natural, social, human, and financial capital. They drive systems-level change through consumer demand, sustainable alternatives, and an enhanced partnership between the private and public sectors. And they inspire the kind of innovation we so urgently need. There are promising moves in this direction already. We see bold, sustainable market creation emerging in the areas of food production, renewable energy, transportation, and construction. Multinational businesses, global investors, asset owners, and financial institutions are beginning to grasp the full extent of potential profitability and value associated with integrating positive environmental and human impact into core business models. But to move forward, we all have a part to play. What governments do and don't do is critical. Mission-orientated policies can create and shape markets. Incentives can attract or repel investment. Taxes can favor or suppress energy choices. And information, such as product labeling, can win or lose customers. To make uphill progress, we also need to end perverse subsidy regimes, as too often seen in agriculture, fisheries, and fossil fuels, and flawed pricing systems that result in the relentless allocation of capital to short-term unsustainable uses. Now, as I've been trying to indicate for the past 15 years through my Accounting for Sustainability initiative, we must integrate natural capital costs into business and financial systems, backed by the regulatory power to enforce them. Without a proper accounting of natural capital, market as well as societal risks will continue to be improperly priced, and new market opportunities will be squandered. Financial regulation and reporting, which integrate sustainability with global standards and mandatory disclosure, are equally vital. In addition, we need to move from donor and grant-based funding towards helping countries compete in the global financial market. This will mean becoming more innovative about de-risking, guarantees, and blended finance in support of sustainable endeavours. Ladies and gentlemen, as consumers controlling an estimated 60% of global GDP, people around the world have the power to drive sustainable market trends. And we must not forget our young people who are desperately crying out for action and who are eager to engage in solutions. To enable them, our education systems need to be reimagined with a sustainable future and a circular economy in mind. To further these efforts, and after many years of working with the business world to try and raise awareness of these issues and of the threats to our own economy if we do not enable and enhance nature's economy, which we have been busily undermining with disastrous consequences, I have recently created a Sustainable Markets Council with the generous support of the World Economic Forum. In the coming year, we will work with coalitions of willing actors across public, private, and philanthropic sectors to demonstrate the potential for sustainable market creation. Examples include natural capital, alternatives to plastics, and green public infrastructure. Our goal is not to duplicate the work of others, but to convene, leverage, and scale up examples of best practice around the world. From a systems perspective, we aim to support a dramatic shift in corporate business models, a reorientated and mobilized financial system, and an enabling environment that incentivizes action. To drive consumer demand, we will seek to establish a global labeling system for goods and services that will allow consumers to make informed choices for people and for planet. We will also work with others towards universal sustainability metrics and global standards. At its heart, we aim to demonstrate in practical ways what we believe to be possible in terms of creating a far more balanced and sustainable future with nature and natural and social capital brought back to the center of the circle. At this critical juncture, as leaders, citizens, and consumers, we must exert the power of our influence to do the right thing and to support this transition to genuinely sustainable markets. Needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, I very much hope to be able to work with you in this vital endeavor.